Okay, here comes.
Ready?
Yes. If you want to go ahead and start.
Great. This is the meeting of the North Carolina Professional Educator Preparation and Standards Commission, August 2025. Dr. Evans, could you please call the roll?
Yes. Dr. Blanton, Dr. Bullock,
Here.
Ms. Wisner,
Here.
Dr. Fleming,
Present.
Miss Edwards, Miss Patton, Dr. Locklear, Dr. Penfield,
Present.
Miss Candozo,
Here.
Miss Hoskins,
Here.
Dr. Weddington,
Here.
Dr. Griffin,
Here.
Mr. Smith,
Here.
Miss Jenkins,
Here.
Dr. Winter,
Present.
and Mr. Probst.
Here.
We have quorum.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome commission members, advisors, staff, online visitors, and online listeners to the August 14th, 2025 monthly meeting of the North Carolina Professional Educator Preparation and Standards Commission. This Standards Commission develops and recommends to the State Board of Education rules related to all aspects of educator preparation, licensure, continuing education, and professional standards of North Carolina educators. I am Ann Bullock, Chair of the Professional Educator Preparation and Standards Commission, and I call this meeting to order. Our agenda materials are available online through the DPI website, www.northcarolinapublicschools.org, on the quote SBE meetings unquote link. The meeting is also audio streamed through a link located at the bottom of the e-board agenda. I will now read the ethics statement that is required of us. Commission members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of the commission. Does any member of the commission know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. Commission members, you have had an opportunity to review the proposed agenda for today's meeting. Do I have a motion to approve this agenda for this August meeting?
So move. Kim Winter.
Thank you, Dr. Winter. May I second?
Second, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Any updates or discussion of the agenda items? Hearing none, Dr. Evans, could you please call for the vote?
Yes. Chair Bullock,
Approve.
Ms. Wisner,
Approve.
Dr. Fleming,
Approved.
Dr. Penfield,
Approved.
Ms. Candozo,
Approved.
Ms. Hoskins,
Approve.
Dr. Weddington,
Approve.
Vice Chair Griffin,
Approve.
Mr. Smith,
Approve.
Ms. Jenkins,
Approved.
Dr. Winter,
Approve.
and Mr. Probst.
Approve.
Unanimous.
Thank you. The minutes from our previous commission meeting on May 8th, 2025 have been prepared and made available to you. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Second, Hank.
Thank you, Hank. Any discussion or edits to the minutes? Dr. Evans, would you please call the roll for the approval of the minutes for May 8th, 2025?
Yes. Chair Bullock,
Approve.
Ms. Wisner,
Approve.
Dr. Fleming,
Approved.
Dr. Penfield,
Approved.
Ms. Candozo,
Approved.
Ms. Hoskins,
Approve.
Dr. Weddington,
Approved.
Dr. Griffin,
Approved.
Mr. Smith,
Approved.
Ms. Jenkins,
Approve.
Dr. Winter,
Approve.
Mr. Probst.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. The link for the July and August State Board of Education meetings were sent to you prior to this meeting. The recordings are bookmarked at the presentations for the Educator Standards and Practices ES&P committee, which is the committee that handles the work of Pepsi. If anyone has questions, please let Dr. Evans know, and we will follow up during the September Pepsi meeting. Also, there is what was also discussed is the EPP accountability model, which we will be discussing in this meeting as well. All right, so we will begin with Dr. Charlene Pittman, Co-Director of Educator Performance, and she will present policy amendments to TCED 016, Beginning Teacher Support Program. And this will be a discussion item today, and we will bring this back for a bit at a later meeting.
Okay, so thank you so much again, Dr. Bullock, and everyone who's on the call this afternoon. I am joining to share draft recommendations for a policy amendment to TCED 016, which is the Beginning Teacher Support Program policy. In reviewing the policy, we recognized that there was a need for a few minor changes. And so before you this afternoon, you will see those recommendations. First being clarifying who participates in the recent graduate survey according to state statute. Looking at the draft, it reads, or the recommendation, it reads completion of the recent graduate survey by the beginning teacher and the employer survey by the principal of the school during the BT's first year of teaching following the completion of an approved educator preparation program. So we thought it was very important to include this in the policy. And then if you drop down to the last sentence, the recommendation is for it to read, the surveys will be administered at the end of the applicable year. Second, we recognize that there was a need to bring further clarification to the definition of a beginning teacher. And so this need was because we were seeing an increase, of course, in teachers who are entering the profession through alternative pathways since the last policy update. Second, we also recognize that the current language in the policy was unintentionally contributing to inconsistent identification of beginning teachers across PSUs. And so if we look at the draft recommendations for revision, if you go back up, I think, Kim, right there, we wanted to bring clarification by stating teachers with fewer than 3 years of teaching experience, regardless of licensure type and licensure pathway. For example, temporary license, residency license, and initial professional license are required to participate in the North Carolina Beginning Teacher Support Program for 3 years. And then lastly, there are a few technical edits in the policy, and those deal with capitalization. I would also like to share with everyone that we were able to share these revision recommendations or draft recommendations during our August Human Capital webinar to give the field the opportunity to provide feedback. And to date, none has been received, but we were able to share this with them. And just as a glance ahead, I would also like to share that it is our plan to continue to share policy amendment recommendations with the committee in phases with you, which would allow us to continue to gather feedback from stakeholders, which has been really nice to see the feedback that's coming in by way of survey, and then looking at conducting some focus groups. But a great opportunity to get feedback from the field. And then as we receive that feedback and calibrate the feedback and look at trends and have further recommendations for you all, we'll be back. So just taking a tiered approach. So any questions?
Dr. Pittman, I do have a question on this part that's on the screen. The completion of a recent graduate survey by the beginning teacher and the employer during the BT's first year of teaching following the completion of an approved EPP program.
Mhm.
Following completion of an EPP. So if I'm a residency teacher
Mhm.
and I'm not through, but I'm teaching, so I've taught multiple years, but I've just finished my EPP and maybe I'm a third year teacher.
Mhm.
Where does this land with this policy?
So with this policy, as far as taking the survey, you could very well be a residency teacher in year 3, or better yet, in year 4, if you've completed your residency program after 3 years, because
Okay.
then it would be applicable. Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to be clear.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you for doing a very excellent job presenting that, and we will take that under consideration.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, Dr. Tomerlin will present policy amendments to licensure 003, licensure testing requirements. Dr. Tomlin, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
I apologize. I was talking away into this microphone and it was doing nothing. So I am Tom Tomberlin, North Carolina, from the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. And I am presenting to you today recommended changes to LICN 001. This is our licensure exam policy, where we identify the test of record for different licensure areas and the cut scores. So as part of our recommended changes, there are tests that have sunset, and we have those expiration dates in the policy. But we're finding that there's a lot of old ones. So we went through and cleared those out. If they're long since been expired, we're just removing those from the policy, so as not to confuse folks as to what the appropriate assessment is. So that you'll see those changes throughout the required tests and we're striking out those cut scores that are associated with retired tests. So there's no confusion about what the cut score for a particular exam is. If we move on down, we also have the inclusion of the newly approved NCPPA, the Principal Portfolio Assessment. And yes, there we go. So under the administrative supervisory column, we don't yet have a testing code from Pearson for this assessment. So as soon as we do that, we will have that. It is called the North Carolina Principal Portfolio Assessment. And for the cut score at this time, as we've discussed, we are requiring completion with a validated score. That means the candidate will have to complete the assessment and will have to achieve the level that Pearson says that they have a scorable portfolio. And if they do that, then they meet the requirement for licensure. This will continue until we at DPI have a sufficient sample to analyze the data for the purposes of recommending a specific cut score on that exam to Pepsi and the State Board of Education for approval. And those are the changes. And Chair Bullock, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Could you please go up to the very top of this document? Kim, please, Dr. Evans. Doing all the things. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry, Dr. Bullock, say that again because,
Go to the very top, like the very, very top.
okay. There's just an echo in here and I had to turn my sound off.
All good.
This is far enough, correct, Dr.?
No, to the title.
Oh, to the title. Okay, sure.
Right. All right, so just to be clear, Dr. Tomerlin said he was talking about 001. It's 003. So just so everybody is clear on that.
So sorry.
Okay. That's what I had in my notes, was it 003. So I wanted to make sure, and I don't want, so 001 describes the types of license, and 003 describes the test.
Correct.
Yeah. So are
Thank
there
you.
any questions? I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what licensure policy we were talking about.
Sure.
Any questions from the field? These seem pretty straightforward. I like I will make a comment that I like that the Pearson language is clearer, I think, in this edit than the taking out the or, like it's like this is what's now for September. I think it makes it clearer for the field.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for clearing that up and making those redactions.
So
Absolutely.
all right. I don't hear any other questions. So do I have a motion to recommend this policy amendment to licensure 003 to be sent to the State Board of Education?
So,
So
Kim Winter.
Thank you, Dr. Winter. A second.
This is Craig. I'll second.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Any other discussion around this policy? All right, Dr. Evans, please call for the vote.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Chair Bullock,
Approve.
Ms. Weisner,
Approve.
Dr. Fleming,
Approved.
Dr. Penfield,
Approved.
Ms. Candozo,
Approved.
Ms. Hoskins,
Approve.
Dr. Weddington,
Approve.
Vice Chair Griffin,
approved.
Mr. Smith,
Approved.
Ms. Jenkins,
Approved.
Dr. Winter,
Approve.
Mr. Probst,
Approved.
unanimous.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Tomberlin, and thanks everyone for weighing in. So our main topic today has to do with the EPP accountability model. And as you know, in August, this went to the State Board of Education and they had some questions about it, which are perfectly wonderful questions to ask us and made us think further about the model. I also want to say that I felt, and Dr. Weddington can weigh in here, that it was received with good enthusiasm and appreciation for the hard work. Chair Davis has been extremely supportive of us being the professionals to determine what would be the best thing to recommend. I will also say that since that time, we've added to the simulator, as we call it, which is what we looked at to see the percentages and where we should land. We, meaning the Royal Dr. Andy Baxter, have added the most recent data that has been available on EPPs, and that has slightly changed the model to what we think. So we've slightly changed the model to what we think would be a fair model for EPPs, one that reflects what EPPs have the most control over in terms of outcomes for their candidates, no matter the path, traditional or residency. And also one that reflects the values of what our legislators seem to think that is important at this point. So, for example, literacy. So there's a piece about, as you all know, literacy is a very important pillar in North Carolina. It's very important for our students. It's very important for our candidates to have good literacy background. So we took those things into consideration. And the original model that we proposed and took to the state board, that with the new data, it actually developed a subgroup that seemed to disadvantage a certain group of EPPs. So we have slightly worked the model. Dr. Weddington and I have spent a lot of hours with Dr. Baxter and team to look at different simulations, to try different approaches and try to figure out what would be fair. So I'm going to share with you where we are. This will include the original composite scores that we took to the state board and also what we're recommending. at this point, and this is up for discussion. Dr. Weddington, is there anything that you want to say before we move forward, or anything that I forgot?
You hit everything I would have said. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, all right, so let me see. Can you see a blue and white chart? Yeah. Okay. So in this new proposed model, we are proposing that the number one criteria that we have control over as EPPs is the EdTPA. Traditional and alternative routes have the most control over that, do the most preparation around that, and that shows what a new candidate should know, should be able to do, and apply as a beginning teacher. We also we know that grad surveys and employer surveys are important to have a triangulation of our candidates. Note the difference here in the original model that we proposed, EdTPA was 50%. We've moved EdTPA to 60%. I'm going to skip to EVAS at the bottom. We also know that student achievement is an important feature and something that we all move toward in our programs. We also know that there was a lot of concern about wanting our students to go into low performing schools and wanting to work there, and that to not disadvantage an EPP. So we want to include it, but the 10% was causing a tipping point for certain subgroups. So we wanted to make sure that we were not biasing the model. And within testing, due to the limited license, being able to, for someone to be able to never pass a Praxis 2 exam and to hold an EPP accountable for that, that is information that has come out to us really to understand more recently. We have determined that in alternative models also that Praxis 2 is assumption that they have that before they come into an MAT or to an alternative model. However, Pearson's Foundation of Reading test is something that is in the curriculums of the EPPs. It is something that's very important and is something that's correlated with student achievement. So we do have some control over that and some priority around that in our programs. So we are proposing, after looking at 7 different models, 60% EdTPA, surveys staying the same, 5% for Pearson Foundations of Reading, 0% for Praxis 2, and 5% for EBOS. I open it up for questions.
Dr. Bullock, can I ask a procedural question?
You may.
So it's come back to us for us to potentially vote on approving this to move then back to the State Board of Education for their potential approval?
That is right, Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
With our best work, right? That's our goal, is to send our best work.
Absolutely.
I also want to say that this model does put some EPPs using current data into, not everybody makes the cut, right? Like, so there are some EPPs that would not, their programs, whether they're traditional or alternative, there are a few that would not either be in continuous improvement or in sanctions using any of the models that we looked at. So we could not, and we did not think of creating a model where everyone would pass, right? That doesn't seem to be a fair assessment either. We were just trying to minimize it for it to be truly an entire group of particular types of EPPs, small, large, et cetera, would not be disadvantaged. Any questions on the percentages? Or any thoughts? Does anyone like them? not like them.
I think this looks good. I'm in support of this. I think it is an improvement.
Thank you, Dr. Winter. Anyone else?
Dr. Bullock, can I just make a quick procedural reminder about this?
Sure.
And I want to offer this particularly for the folks that are new to the commission, just as a reminder. This model, you know, with all of its merit, is not going to be possible to implement without changes to the enabling statutes.
Right.
And I know that the legislative team here at DPI is working on that. But I want folks, especially the new folks, to know that we're hoping that this is something that can be taken to the General Assembly once the Pepsi and the state board have endorsed it, in hopes that they would be willing to change the law to allow this model to be implemented. So just think it's important to put that reminder out there.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. I'm going to move to a second part. There was a question about public versus non-public. And we have left the ask to be that if someone's on notification or area for improvement, for it to be non-public. And that's going to be an ask if this goes forward, right? Not an ask of the state board. That is not an ask of the General Assembly, right? And the reason that we've left that in there, after thinking about it a lot and looking at what other professions do, it is very similar to what they do in other professions, like attorneys, medical doctors, nurses, that there is a point where things are private and there's a point when things are public. And so reputation, brand, willingness to improve, all of those things, we have left this in here as a recommendation. Again, we recommend to the state board. The state board can do with our recommendation and make their best judgment on it. But that is what we're recommending, to be in alignment with other professional licensure organizations or associations. I could go on, dentist. So those were the things that we were asked to look at by the state board. One was the public-private and one was the percentages. And I really want to thank Chair Davis for sending this back to us to let us to look at these percentages, because I don't think we would have caught with the new data how it changed. So I really appreciate the opportunity for us to look at this again. I think that's a very positive thing. And this is a very important ask and a very important work of Pepsi. And also, I really want to say that it's been really, really important to think about what is the best for the good of all. Dr. Penfield, did you have a question? I saw you unmuted and then you muted yourself when I kept talking.
No, other than I appreciate the emphasis on the EdTPA. That's all. Just wanted to comment on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The field has not seen the revised recommendation, just like most of you are seeing this for the first time right now, right? So we have a called meeting next week to vote on this, if that is your prerogative, as we want to make sure that it goes out to the field through listening to the meeting. It was announced, thanks to Dr. Seiberg, it was announced in the EPP webinar on Monday, I think it was on Monday, that this was going to be on the agenda. So I know a lot of people were planning to listen to this meeting today because they are very interested in this model, of course. Any other questions about this? Any other comments? Anything, a pause? All right. Well, you have a whole week to think about it. So you can think about it. And of course, you can get in touch with me if you have questions, or with Dr. Weddington. I do want to especially thank Dr. Weddington for his hard work on this and his thought. He's my best thought partner. He has thought more than I have thought, and I really appreciate that. Also, I'd like to shout out Dr. Andy Baxter, who I don't think has slept this week. So I really want to thank Dr. Baxter for his simulations. And when we say one more model, like, can you just run one more simulation for us? And he would do so with a very pleasant smile. So very much thank you. All right. So this is our last monthly meeting where we have several of our members. So I want to thank them for their service and dedication, and also remind them that we have a meeting next Thursday that I expect them to attend. So first of all, Dr. Randy Penfield, who is the Senior Vice Provost at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and he is going to be replaced by Dr. Paula Stein, who is also joining us today as a guest. And Dr. Stein is the Dean of the College of Education at North Carolina State University. Dr. Penfield has been instrumental in helping us think through assessment, criteria. That's his area. Assessment is his research area, and he has been a wonderful and engaged member. And we thank you very much, Dr. Penfield, for what you've done. Dr. Scott Elliott, he's not with us today, but he's the Deputy Director for Engagement of the Governor's Recovery Office for Western North Carolina. It's called GROW NC. There hasn't been a replacement to be determined. Dr. Elliott, as many of you know, used to be the superintendent of Watauga County Schools, and that's when he joined the commission, and he was a great member. Dr. Anthony Graham has left North Carolina. He is now the chancellor at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. He will be replaced by Dr. Paula Groves Price, who is the Dean of the College of Education in North Carolina A&T. Dr. Price is going to be an excellent member as well as Dr. Stein, so I look forward to them both contributing to our conversation and representing the UNC system. And also, Ms. Heather Smith, who was our 2024 North Carolina Teacher of the Year, who did a great job. She is being replaced by Ms. Rachel Candasso. Is that how you say it, Rachel? Is that?
Yes, and you got it correct. It's Rachel Candasso.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
The
you.
2025 North Carolina Teacher of the Year, and we always appreciate the input and the thoughts from the classroom, and the North Carolina Teachers of the Year, of course, are excellent ambassadors for North Carolina Public Schools. Pepsi, the terms for the new members actually begin in September, so that's why we've invited them today to be with us if they can, and I really appreciate that. Pepsi also welcomes Dr. Blair Probst, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel, Policy, and Operations. He has nothing to do in his job at Carteret County Schools, and he is going to be the designee of our State Superintendent, Mo Green. So, Mr. Probst, we welcome you to Pepsi. This is a very interesting first meeting to come to, so we thank you for being here and taking the time. And he is a voting member as of this meeting. And that is the end of our business. So thank you, commission members, advisors, and staff for your preparation for our discussions. I remind commission members that our next monthly meeting will be Thursday, September 18th, beginning at 3:30. But there is a called meeting on Thursday, August 21st at 8:30 a.m. to vote on the two previous items that we talked about today, as is our practice to try to not take most things in the first shot, right? Like to have a discussion and then bring them back, especially something like this model. We have now completed our meeting. Unless there's additional business at this time, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, Aaron Fleming.
Thank you, Dr. Fleming. All right. Dr. Evans, call for the vote to adjourn, please.
Sure. Chair Bullock,
Approve.
Vice Chair Griffin,
Approved.
Mr. Smith,
Approved.
Dr. Fleming,
Approved.
Ms. Weisner,
Approved.
Dr. Penfield,
Approve.
Ms. Jenkins,
Approve.
Mr. Probst,
Approved.
Dr. Weddington,
Approve.
Dr. Winter,
Approve.
Ms. Hoskins.
Approve.
I believe I didn't call. I'm sorry, my list got lost here. Oh, Miss Edwards
Approve.
and Rachel, could you say your last name again, please?
Yeah, it's Candasso.
Candasso.
Yes,
It's
approved.
Candasso. Thank you. Did I miss anyone? Okay.
We're adjourned. Have a great day, everyone. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you, Chair Davis, for coming.